9:15 here on the morning show with Jeff and Will. It's AM 1700 WRCR, Haverstraw, WRCR.com. Welcome back to the show, everybody. Joining us now, as she does at this time every Monday, it is Tina Traster, who is the editor and publisher of RCBizJournal.com. Good morning, Tina. How are you?
Good morning. How is everybody over there?
Doing well, thank you.
Very good. Glad to hear that. So, a luxury 152-unit luxury apartment complex, potentially coming to the DeCecco's shopping center, where the Bowtie Cinema stands now. This should surprise nobody, because not long ago, Clarkstown amended its zoning code to allow for more density and height in the middle of New City. And lo and behold, this application began at the Technical Advisory Committee, known as TAC, a couple weeks ago. And what it is it's a proposal to raise the former Bowtie Cinema movie theater to make room for a 6-story, 152-unit luxury apartment complex that would have some amenities, and that would take a portion of the parking lot where the City Diner is now. That's the diner at the bottom of the office tower. I'm sure most people have been there or know what we're talking about.
Used to be Bennigan's back in the day.
Okay.
I think more people would know that.
Okay. Love those little history factoids. Yeah, so this would be a state. What they're proposing is a hotel style, state-of-the-art concierge residential building with a swimming pool and other amenities to what is, their words, normally seen down south in Florida. And this is it would include 71 one-bedroom apartments, 81 two-bedroom apartments, and 7 or 8 affordable units. Now, I guess this is what jumps out, is that there's all this talk about the need for affordable housing, that what millennials and empty nesters can afford. I don't think this project will fit that bill. So this is what is on tap, and I guess it will change the character of the DeCecco's market. I think that this developer presumably will have an easy time at the planning board because, as I said earlier, the law that was passed in July amended the zoning code to allow mixed-use buildings with above-grade multifamily apartment complexes along North and South Main Street. And so I think this will largely be an as-of-right proposal, and one that will probably sail through pretty easily.
Hey, Tina, question. Is the Chico's supermarket still going to be there, or is that part of the whole restructuring process?
No, the Chico's will be there, and so will that string of retail that runs to the north of where the Bowtie Cinema is. Mm-hmm. So if you go online and you take a look at the story that we published, we put a map on it, so you can see where the existing office tower is, where the retail strip is, where the proposed residential tower is. It lays it out. I think the address is, let's see. So, yeah, and I don't have the exact address of where the tower will stand, but the little chart that we have published, just explicitly shows where it is. So, big changes proposed for that shopping center. Hello?
Yeah, no, I'm listening. Yeah.
Okay, no, I thought my phone.
Oh.
So big changes there, and I think so far the reaction to that has been mixed. We shall see how that progresses. Up in a little bit beyond our area, speaking of pretty massive development, Woodbury Common is planning a $250 million expansion of retail, hotel, and other amenities. And I mean, I guess just in contrast to the sort of the inert state of this Palisades Center and the shops at Nanuet, Woodbury Common Premium Outlets, which is owned by the Simon Property Group, also that owns the shops at Nanuet. They are just, constantly in expansion mode. And they are planning to add new retail stores, eateries, a hotel, a second parking garage. So I guess the outlet world is thriving. Unlike the traditional mall, I guess for whatever reason, Woodbury Common is an example of, I guess, where retail is at its best in this era. I don't know if it's that it's off pricing. I don't know if it's in that corridor, the thruway, the Palisades, Route 17. I don't know if it's location. I don't know if it's down to just very good marketing. But they're in a major expansion mode. It's their second one in recent times. It is true that millions of visitors go to Woodbury Commons 150-acre mall yearly. And it's just an interesting, I think, contrast to, we know that malls are largely suffering, and some around the country are reinventing themselves. I don't think that we've seen that here in Rockland County, but just to the north of us in Orange County, Woodbury Commons is just, chugging along, more than chugging along, really kind of flexing its muscle and making huge strides. So that is another thing to note and to ponder if you like to think about, the dynamics of planning and, where development is, where trends are. Take a look at Woodbury Common and what they've got planned. Question?
I was actually wondering whether or not you thought maybe some of the other malls that you had mentioned, like Shops at Nanuet or Palisades Center, might go the route that Clarkstown is going and say, hey, you know what? We can open up part of our area to residential housing and apartments.
It would make sense because in the case of the Shops at Nanuet, this is supposed to be the TOD, the transit-oriented development. And as we recently reported, as you might recall, there was a developer that was ready to start building some housing. He had a pilot plan, and that fell apart. These are missed opportunities. These centers that are already built up and are not going to take away swaths and swaths of trees and natural habitat. These are the exact places where housing belongs. We need it in this county desperately. Every supervisor talks about affordable housing, but the truth is it's really kind of a taboo in every town, and it's something that just doesn't get done. And it's problematic. It really is. It's short-sighted because we're going to end up with a county of old people because nobody young can afford to live here. So it really is.
Hey, we love old people too. It's not that we don't love the old people, but we love young people too. Just
monoculture over here.
Yeah,
I'm old people, but but you want a balance in a community, and when you don't have 20-somethings and 30-somethings breathing new life and energy and innovation into the community, you end up with a gray community that's very dependent on medical care and things like the malls can't survive. So it's short-sighted. But really, I was recently at the Palisades Institute Forum. Every supervisor said, "Oh, we need affordable housing." But the truth is that when you go to the planning boards and you listen to the proposals, or when affordable housing developers approach the supervisors behind the scenes, I happen to know through many sources that they are often discouraged to put that kind of housing in, quote, their communities. So it really is a conundrum, and it's just a problem in plain sight. Yes, the malls, certainly they're not thriving here in this county, and sure, they certainly could be reinvented. But that has not happened, and we shall, I guess, watch those trends to see if they do.
It's interesting. People also even argue about what defines affordable housing. You know, does that mean low income? Does that mean you're only earning $250,000 a year? I mean, what's affordable to people? That's a vague definition.
Yeah, I mean, there are formulas for that. There's actual formulas based on median income, and we've written about that. It's not something I know off the top of my head. We could talk about it next week. I think it's a really important topic. But luxury apartment with swimming pool and that kind of amenities. Let's just say we know off the bat that is not affordable. When rentals are I don't know, $3,000-$4,000 a month, is that affordable?
I would argue no.
I would say not if you're earning less than a family $100,000 a year. I mean, unless people think it's okay to have 50-60% of your income go to your rent. So it's yes. Oh, okay. So affordable housing, I'm just looking this up, is 60% of median income. Yeah.
60% of median income.
Yeah. So that's the formula. So you can do the math. It's
Can I? I'm not sure.
Okay. Yeah, I hear you. I'm a woman of letters too. Numbers are more challenging. Yeah. And so speaking of also of need, we also put out a story this week about the expansion of the food bank of the Hudson Valley. I don't know if you saw that story. Very important story, really. The Hudson Valley, the food bank of Hudson Valley is the distribution center for people who have food insecurity. There are roughly 60 organizations in Rockland County that are distributing that food, and they are moving from a much smaller Cornwall on Hudson location to a new building that they're building in Montgomery in Orange County, and this is broken ground. It'll be ready in 2024, and there are a lot of Hudson Valley families. I think it's 150,000 a month that are fed through these organizations that rely on this distribution center to move, to collect and store and to move food around in order to get on the table. Just to put this in perspective, 10% of Rockland County's residents struggle to get enough food on the table in 2021. 10%. And we are not a big county, right? 300-something thousand, 10%. Wow. So food, I know, it's, again, these are the issues that just kind of like lurk, or so we think, in the shadows, but this is the reality of daily life. That 10% of people here in this county, they do not get enough food to put on the table. So this project is an interesting one. They have to raise $21 million to build this facility. They got a community block grant of $10.5 million, and they're right now undertaking a $6.5 million capital campaign to round out these estimated construction costs.
And it will be interesting to see how rcbizjournal.com covers the story as it unfolds. Thank you so much, Tina, for joining us as always. We'll talk to you again on Monday. Again, go to rcbizjournal.com to sign up for all the newsletters and other things that you can see there, particularly these news stories that Tina discusses here with us. Thanks, Tina.
Have a great week.
Thanks, you too.